Alright, imagine a new Fallout game. I know, it's difficult. But this one we're imagining is not an RPG, not an open world wanderer, but a hardcore squad-based tactical shooter. You command a 4-man team of wasteland warriors, you flank, you ambush, you hold territory, then it never gets released. Today we're diving into the fascinating story of Fallout Extreme. Because if you were around in the 2000s, early 2000s, everything had the word extreme in it. Your Doritos, they were extreme. Your football, it was extreme. Your Mountain Dew was extreme. Everything extreme. But Fallout Extreme was the canceled game that promised a radically different take on the Fallout universe, and we'll be talking about why it was shut down before it ever began. Like, comment, extreme reply. Let's get into it. Let's set the stage. Fallout Extreme was an ambitious project proposed in late 2000 by the studio 14 East, also referred to as 14 Degrees East, for the publisher Interplay Entertainment. Here's a breakdown of what it was aiming to be. A first and third person tactical action game set in the Fallout universe. You control a 4-person squad of specialized characters, and you can switch between them. You can also issue orders and recruit new members, and you can send scouts out. Missions tie into a broader territory conquest map. What you do in one territory has consequences in another, like if you destroy a bridge in one mission, and the enemy loses reinforcements in a neighboring neighborhood. Single-player campaign plus multiplayer squad modes. There's deathmatch, capture the flag, etc. It was a post-Great War wasteland. Centuries later, the squad, named The Cause, fights against the expansionist Brotherhood of Steel, the evil Brotherhood of Steel. Then crosses into Alaska, Russia, Mongolia, and China to stop a doomsday missile. So, yes, it was very different from the traditional Fallout-style RPG, open world type thing. It's more action/tactical plus territory map plus squad management. Now, here's an interesting quote from the Xbox concept submission. Fallout Extreme is not a first-person shooter, but rather a game of action, tactics, and strategies, where moving your squad into position, planning, and falling back is just as important as having the biggest and baddest weapons. So now we have a clear picture of what the pitched game was. Next question, why didn't it happen? Here's the major factors that appear to explain why Fallout Extreme never saw the light of day. Well, it never evolved beyond the proposal/concept stage. According to the Fallout Wiki, on November 22nd of 2000, the game's proposal was presented to Interplay Entertainment, but was rejected and never materialized. The Unseen64 website states, the project was in development for several months in 2000, but it didn't really have a concrete development team and never made it out of the concept stage. So basically, it died in the proposal/approval stage, and there was no real full development ramp up. Next, there was strategic publisher concern and competing property. Interplay was undergoing various financial and strategic pressures in the early 2000s. While this isn't spelled out in the sources for Fallout Extreme, we know from other canceled Fallout projects that Interplay shifted focus to console releases and had resource constraints. The concept of the game, a tactical action shooter in the Fallout universe, represented a divergence from what fans expected from the franchise, which was traditional RPG. It might have been seen as more risky. The console market in 2000 was shifting. PlayStation 2 launched in 2000, Xbox was upcoming, so the proposal targeted PlayStation 2 and Xbox. The market risk might have been higher. The design document pitched highly ambitious features, large territory maps, branching consequences across missions, squad management, multiplayer plus campaign, multiple player character archetypes, including super mutants, Native Americans, and Mongol warriors. With no concrete team, starting with such a large scope may have made the project unappealing for funding. The idea of switching between first and third person, managing scouts, territory logistics, in 2000 hardware may have been technically risky. As for timing and brand management, the proposal date is November 2000. The Xbox concept submission was around the same time. At that moment, the Fallout brand had largely been PC focused. Fallout 1 in 97, Fallout 2 in 98, and, well, Fallout Tactics came out in 2001, but we don't talk about Fallout Tactics now, do we? Transitioning to a console squad-based tactical shooter may have conflicted with brand expectations. The concept, disclosed in 2010 when the design document leaked, indicates the project was largely unknown until the leak, so nobody really knew about it until it was leaked. Now, while official sources are sparse, given the available materials, we can speculate what Fallout Extreme might have looked like and felt like, and why both fans and the franchise might view this cancellation as a missed opportunity. The tone suggests high action mixed with tactical depth, squad switching, stealth versus assault, territory control, a hybrid between shooter and strategy. The proposed material shows the player controlling the cause, a revolutionary squad rising from Oregon up to Alaska and across to China. That kind of global map, further than the typical Fallout settings, is intriguing. Multiplayer squad modes could have been interesting in the Fallout universe, offering something quite novel in the franchise at the time. But on the flip side, it might have risked diluting the RPG identity of Fallout. Technical challenges and risks would have been high in 2000 for Xbox and PS2 to deliver this kind of scale and ambition. Without a solid development team or dedicated resources, such projects often stall. So you might ask, so what? A canceled game from 2000? Why does that matter today? Well, it was extreme! Alright, that's not the reason. But here's why. It shows a branch of the Fallout franchise that could have gone in a very different direction. More action tactic, console first, squad based. It illustrates the risk and cost of ambitious cross-genre brand expansions. The Fallout brand was, and largely remains, tied to its RPG roots. Fallout Extreme shows what might have happened if a publisher chose differently. For game historians and fans, these lost projects help us appreciate what we did get. And I guess we can appreciate Fallout Tactics. So yeah, there. Now you have a reason to appreciate Fallout Tactics. The details of the design proposal provide insight into late 2000 era console game pitching and how big ideas often get cut due to feasibility. Finally, for the community of Fallout fans, it's a compelling what-if story. Perfect for lore, deep divers, and speculative content. And in some respects, it remains a fascinating curiosity in the Fallout franchise. A reminder of how many paths a series could take and how many get cut. To be honest, this is not the only cut or canceled Fallout game in existence. There are a couple others. If you want to hear about those, put it in the comments. Now, if you're a fan of Fallout lore and canceled games and what might have been scenarios, Fallout Extreme is one of those hidden gems that never got made. And while we'll never play it ever because reasons, Bethesda, understand its existence gives us a richer appreciation for the Fallout path that didn't happen. Thank you for watching. If you like this thing on canceled Fallout games, put it down in the comments. Give me a like. Hit subscribe. Do all the fun stuff. Be extreme or something to that effect. I'm going to go watch the Browns lose because I'm recording this on a Sunday. All right, bye.